Mr. Haokip, there is a news that is coming in, and the news is that if consensus is not created in 10 days, there is a possibility of the president's rule. Do you think that the Manipur can undergo a president rule?
Good evening,
Yes, Michael,
yes,
this question is to you.
Manipur situation is always evolving and it's very dynamic. It's always new things comes up each and every time. It's a kind of, that's the uniqueness of our beautiful state Manipur. So BJP have a absolute majority in the legislative assembly in the house. So there is no point of president rule and there is no point of uh, uh, suspension in the legislative assembly. It's only a matter of the honorable chief minister and his council of ministers submitting their resignation on the very important pressing national security perspective issues that requires the urgent attention of the government of India. So it's only because of the resignation of the honorable chief minister in the interest of the state and the country. So there is unlikely it will not come very soon. These are all speculations, so I don't want to be much into this
Do you have
speculation.
numbers? Michael, does your party have numbers?
Absolutely, absolutely. The party have the numbers. We are having the absolute numbers.
You have the numbers. Professor Bhagat, I asked that question to Dr. Selin Haokip. The intention was not that to put the other party as separatists. The intent was that a particular, I mean to say, you know, there are multiple ways to look at an issue. One way to look at it is from the point of self-preservation, which you described. Other is about identity also. It's about your emotional, physical, geographical and cultural identity. So, do you think it's negotiable or it's a non-negotiable thing? Because when I started this coverage, I still remember that the conversation was only around 6th schedule. There was no word of separate administration. People were saying 5th schedule didn't work, 6th schedule is not working, we must have 6th schedule. Now the conversation has gone to a different level altogether. Isn't that correct, Dr. Bhagat?
I think what Selen Haokip said has a point that somehow the discourse has evolved in such a way that we have almost started accepting this viewpoint that all the cookies are wanting separation from the state of Manipur, breaking of Manipur, which I think it is not correct. Yes, there are certain radical civil society groups and SOO groups who might be wanting to, but perhaps, if I'm not mistaken, majority of the Kuki communities may not be wanting separation from Manipur, but they want their certain, what you call the administrative mechanisms to sustain their own interest, their land to be protected, quote unquote, from the fear from possible, annexation or control by the Métis. So all those, are perceptions which can be sorted out. I think among the Métis too, we must not carry on these ideas that all cookies are separatists, all are wanting to break Manipur. I think our own BJP representative, Mr. Haokip, has suffered a lot for speaking out in the hands of the radical groups. So, in fact, I would say that the discourse must begin with more challenging question. Why are the Kukis and Nagas not very happy in general with the way things are, administrative mechanism or whatever you call representational mechanism in Manipur? And we should be open enough to discuss this out. I have seen that many Métis would prefer a status quo, the way things are previously prior to the violence. But the crisis is not immediate. It has slowly evolved over a period of time. So there must be reasons behind the unhappiness of the Nagas, unhappiness of the Kukis, and also even the smaller groups. So the majority, now the Meiteis are not even majority in one sense, 48%. But nonetheless, they are larger in number, and we should sit down and discuss that what is the problem where things have gone wrong, and we none of us should come up with a precondition for any possible dialogue to come. Uh, that is where I think we should be a little more open and stop these stereotypes and the discourses that are being just forcibly spread out. Yeah.
PK Mishra, former ADG BSF, continues to be with me. Mr. Mishra, there are certain issues which are not going away. For example, we can talk about the peace process, narrative setting, that's perfect. But the issues of weapons in the valley, the inability to de-weaponize it, IDPs in the camps, inability to relocate them, or for example, the FMR regime has been suspended. The poppy cultivation. Those are the pressing issues. But more than that, the weapons in the valley are the issues.